Do you think the Browns have to draft a quarterback in this draft?
If you get to like, and this is a real question I want to ask folks. Do you want the Browns to just draft the quarterback just to say that we did it, right? Because if we get to round 3 and we look at the quarterback landscape and it's like Max Brosmer or something like that, like not really a solution you feel great about. Understand if you like Will Howard, you want to take Will Howard in third, got no problem with that. Jalen Milroe in the second or third, I got no problem with that, right? Shador Sanders late first, got no problem with that. But if you run out of options that you feel good about, should you draft the quarterback just to say you did it? I think you're going to be criticized heavily for not taking a quarterback in this draft. But, I think there's a chance, especially if the Browns feel like they can get, the veteran quarterback that they want, that they could say, hey, we're not going to even pretend like we're going to try to develop Dylan Gabriel, right? Like that's not something that we want to do. So it really depends on how they feel about these quarterbacks. But I would say you got to have a cutoff of prospects of that you feel like are worthwhile to develop on your roster for a couple of years. And if those guys are all gone by the time you're willing to take a quarterback, then you might as well just commit to what you've done and not take a quarterback.
Yeah, and I know the other thing is reaching for a quarterback in the top 5. Man, that just doesn't usually end well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reaching out the top 10 to get a quarterback. Now it's hard to determine it, but consensus top 10 boards do exist. Reaching for a quarterback, it's just never been a great idea. The only time it can work is if you're reaching for a quarterback, but like you don't see it as an organization as a reach. You actually just love that player that much. If that's where you're on, if that's what you're on, then cool. I've said this for a while. I'm more okay with the Browns like deciding that they fell in love head over heels with one of these quarterbacks and decide they need to trade up the one to get them, than just like sitting back and saying, "Well, quarterbacks here too, let's take them." Right? I want the buy-in on the player, and if the buy-in isn't there on the player, and you're just buying in on the position itself, then I think you're setting yourself up for failure more than likely.